Imagine a company that built fighter jets and one day decided to make cars instead. It sounds like science fiction, but that's how Saab began. A brand so innovative it put the first turbo engine on a mass production car and invented seats that protected your back better than anything else on the market. And yet, in 2011, this giant of Swedish engineering collapsed completely. How did one of the smartest car brands in history end up bankrupt? This is the story of Saab. It all begins in 1945, in Sweden, right after World War II. The company was called Svenska Aeroplan AB, Saab, and it built fighter jets for the Swedish military. But the war was over, and demand for military aircraft had dropped sharply. So Saab's engineers did something unexpected. They decided to apply their knowledge of aerodynamics to cars. Their first car, the Saab 92, looked like nothing else on the market. A teardrop shape, carefully studied aerodynamics, designed by people used to building airplanes, not automobiles. And that became the brand's DNA. Saab didn't build cars like everyone else. It built cars like aerospace engineers who happened to be working on four wheels. The 1970s and 80s were Saab's golden age. In 1978, the company launched the Saab 99 Turbo, one of the first mass-produced cars in the world with a turbocharged engine priced for the general public. That changed the game. Turbo became synonymous with Saab, but it wasn't just about speed. Saab had an obsession with safety and comfort that went beyond any competitor. Ergonomic seats designed with the help of anatomy specialists, body structures engineered to protect passengers, even the ignition key placed between the seats, not by accident, but for safety reasons designed by former aerospace engineers. The result? Saab became the brand of choice for people who didn't want an ordinary car. Professors, engineers, scientists, Saab built an almost cult-like fan base, people loyal to the brand for years, sometimes for generations. But technical success didn't always mean financial success. Saab was a small company in an industry dominated by giants. Development costs were enormous for a company its size, and profits stayed thin. In 1990, General Motors bought 50% of Saab. 10 years later, in 2000, GM took full control of the company. At first, it seemed like a logical solution. Saab needed financial resources, and GM had money and global infrastructure. But this is where the real trouble began. GM forced Saab to share platforms with other brands in the group, especially Opel. Saab cars started being built on the same technical foundations as Opel or even Chevrolet models, a cost-cutting strategy that, unfortunately, eroded exactly what made Saab special: unique engineering designed differently from the rest of the industry. Fans noticed immediately. Perceived quality dropped, technical identity faded, and sales began to stagnate, then decline. 2008 brought the global financial crisis, and it hit General Motors extremely hard. The parent company was fighting to survive, and Saab, as a non-essential, unprofitable division, became one of the first victims of restructuring. In 2009, GM officially announced Saab would be sold or shut down for good. A chaotic period of desperate negotiations followed. Koenigsegg, the Swedish hypercar maker, came close to buying the company, but the deal fell apart at the last moment. Eventually, Spyker Cars, a small Dutch sports car manufacturer, managed to buy Saab in 2010. But Spyker had neither the financial resources nor the scale needed to save a company the size of Saab. Factories ran on and off, workers went unpaid, suppliers refused to deliver parts without upfront payment. In December 2011, after months of agony, Saab Automobile officially filed for bankruptcy. Production stopped for good. The story didn't end completely there. A new company, NEVS, National Electric Vehicle Sweden, bought Saab's rights and assets, planning to relaunch the brand as an electric vehicle maker, but that attempt didn't survive long-term either. The project slowly faded, unable to recreate the original magic. Today, the Saab name has practically vanished from showrooms, but the fan community remains. Thousands of people around the world still maintain, restore, and drive old Saabs, keeping alive the memory of a brand that dared to think differently. Saab didn't die from a lack of innovation. It died because it lost exactly what made it special under pressure from a giant corporation that wanted standardization, not niche excellence. It's a lesson that goes beyond the car industry. Sometimes what makes you unique is also the hardest thing to protect once someone else takes control.